Welcome to Plugged In, a podcast by Okefenokee OREMC about our co-op, our community, and our shared connections. I'm Michelle Hutchins, your Director of Communications and Marketing, and joining me today is Ms. Mary Lamond from Habitat for Humanity from Glynn County. Mary, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, Mary, you and I met for the first time a couple months ago, tied to a grant that Habitat has received from the OREMC Foundation. And you were very gracious in filling me and our foundation president in on all things Habitat. And I just kind of had an idea. It might be good to kind of share that with a few more people and just get a better understanding of the organization, where it's been, where it's going, and how's that sound to you?
Sounds great. You know, I love to talk about Habitat.
And I think most people have heard of Habitat for Humanity, and I think a lot of people have a general idea. Oh, it's about building houses, and some people may even recall that Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind were tied to it in some way. But why don't you just back up a little bit? Talk to us about Habitat in general, kind of the history and where it got started, and then kind of maybe move into Habitat for Glynn County.
Sure. Thank you. So a lot of people think that the Carters started Habitat, and that's not true. Yeah. It was started by a couple named Millard and Linda Fuller, and they were pretty well off and decided that they really wanted to do something meaningful with their resources. The first Habitat home was actually built in San Antonio, Texas, of all places. And then they ended up moving over to the international area for a while and kept building in the United States. And after President Carter left office in the mid-'80s is when he and Mrs. Carter started building with Habitat. And their first project was in New York City. And so we call them our most famous volunteers.
Okay.
And they really, truly did such a great job in getting us the recognition that we have now, especially in the United States. This particular affiliate, so every affiliate is a standalone organization, and ours was started in 1989.
Okay.
There are some people still in this area that people would know who started our affiliate. One of them is Mr. Ben Slade, who I understand has helped with a lot of nonprofits in the area. So we started in 1989. Some of the information about Habitat that people don't really understand is that our program is truly designed to be a help. I call it a hand up, not a handout.
Yeah, I remember you saying that when I first met you.
Yes. And what I mean by that, in fact, I had some potential donors that I met with this week, and they said, we've known about Habitat forever, but we had no idea that these people are actually buying the house.
Oh.
They always thought the home was given to the family.
Yeah, I can understand that perception.
I can too. So that's part of why I'm so interested in getting out and talking more to people about Habitat. Because to me, now I've been involved with Habitat for 25 years.
Oh, okay.
I started working on a construction site. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed working alongside of the family who was getting the house.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when you're volunteering for a charity, you don't really see the impact. So that's one of the things that we really enjoy about Habitat is that our partner families meet the volunteers that are working on their house. Some of the other things are that the family, we call them partner families for a reason, because they are partnering with us and there are things that we require of them. So first of all, when they're going through the application process, it's very rigorous. If we do, let's say, 85 applications, we might have 2 families approved.
Wow.
Because what we're looking for in a family is someone who's got some stability, not primarily financially, because we're going to look back for the last 2 years and see what their income has been, because that's going to be a good indicator of what's going to happen in the future. So we're offering them a mortgage. At the completion of their home, they apply separately for a mortgage from us, and that's at 0% interest.
So let me back you up just a bit. I mean, you said that the founders of Habitat, they had retired and they wanted to do something
Meaningful.
beneficial and meaningful to the
Yes.
community. But I don't know that you really ever said how it was they landed on building homes for people who were looking. How did it become what it is?
Well, I think because they were living in South Georgia. Koinonia Farms is where they kind of settled, and they just started building homes for families with the family.
Oh,
and
so
they
it just sort of evolved.
Yes,
from
it was just very organic, and they saw that, as we all know as adults, when you're working for something, it's more meaningful.
Right.
And so they really have kept that as a core tenet of what we're doing.
Yes.
The partnership with the family.
Right.
So now they have to complete 200 hours of sweat equity.
The family or individuals each in the family?
The family.
The family. Okay.
Yeah. And so one of the things they can do is they can bring coworkers, family, friends, and their hours go towards their 200.
Okay.
Because another important aspect of Habitat is we really want the community involved. And so part of the beauty of having volunteers from all walks of life is they're all experiencing something different. It's meaningful to different people in different ways.
Sure.
And so right now, I know that you're aware that we're working on the Women Build initiative. And really the reason we're doing that is we want to get more women involved with us. I mean, the men know many love to go out and build, but the women are always surprised at what they can accomplish. Like last Saturday, we had 7 women and we installed windows in 2 houses.
Wow. And I want to come back to the Women Build in a second, but I think just to reel it in a little bit. So when you're building the home, the family that's getting the home is there, and they have to contribute 200 build hours. But you also invite in, as you talk to us about, bringing in a team to kind of help with build days. So talk about the community partnerships aside from the family, because it sounds like every home is, much like the co-op philosophy of by the community for the community.
Right.
In that, yes, the family participates, but you're also, you're getting, if I understood from what you told me before, you're getting donations of materials and appliances or lower. There's a lot of other aspects to an individual home than just the build component that involves the whole community. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So we have Habitat International has created partnerships for us over the years. So, for example, Whirlpool is a national sponsor for us. Oh. So they sell us all of the appliances at a greatly reduced rate. Oh, okay, so they're not free, but they're much more reasonable than what you or I would pay if we're redoing our kitchens.
Okay.
And so another one, for example, on these 2 houses we're building right now, there's a program that Habitat International sponsors through GAF roofing. Okay. And so if you have a GAF certified roofer, they supply the labor for free. Okay. And GAF, the shingles are free. Okay. So these 2 houses that we are working on right now, we partnered with a local roofer on St. Simon's, Cut Right Roofing, and they have provided these 2 roofs for us at no charge. Okay.
Now, what about community members participating in the build? How's that typically happen? Do you get most of your participants someone who just stumbles upon it and says, "Hey, I want to go help build a house one day," or is it more corporate teams and
It's
organizations?
really here in the Golden Isles, it's really a very good mix of both.
Oh, okay.
But really, one of the reasons that we're doing the build we're doing now is because we want more individuals instead of just corporate.
Oh, okay.
So like on this build, we'll have, Okefenokee, we'll have some banks. We've got, we work with GICA.
Yep.
They come out. The last builds, we had football teams come from Brunswick High School. I think Glynn Academy came as well. But we want to get the kids earlier in life, because when you start volunteering young, you kind of stick with it,
Yeah.
I think. So we're trying to expose more young people to the opportunity. And so we have a good mix of just individuals and corporate sponsors. Yeah.
Well, I think that's wonderful to hear that you have been and are working to get even more young people involved in students and football teams. And
yes,
because it's something that's when you're involved with it hands-on, it does have more meaning to you, not just as a potential homeowner, but as someone who can say, hey, I helped to do that.
Yes.
And they get to meet people, they get to feel part of something bigger.
Yes.
And we know that ties in very well with some of the issues we have societally with people feeling
disengaged
and left out. So I think that's wonderful from that standpoint.
Yes.
You talked about a couple of houses you're working on now, but how many houses has the Glynn County Habitat built to date?
96.
96. So you're closing in on that 100 mark.
We'll finish. I think in 27 we'll get to the 100.
Okay.
And that's why we're building in Century Place.
So tell me about Century Place.
Okay, that's in Brunswick. And it's called Century Place because we knew it would be the home of our 100th home.
Okay.
And so it has 19 lots total. We are building number 9 and 10 right now. So we're going to be about halfway through when we finish these 2 houses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
And how long has Century Place existed?
They actually started building in 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we usually build 2 to 3 houses per year.
Mm-hmm.
They started, I think, maybe 4 at one time, and that was a little more than we need to be doing. So we've kind of scaled it back a little bit, but 2 to 3 a year is normal for us.
So you actually have a habitat community. Now, I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Is that typical or is that something new?
It's not new. It's very new for Glynn County.
Ah.
So we prefer when we're building to be in a subdivision for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is it's more cost effective for us to not have to be moving around equipment and trailers and that kind of thing. I also personally feel like having the community makes it more of a community. So all of our people on this street, they all went through the same journey.
Through the same process.
Yes.
Yeah, they have that in common.
Exactly.
Do people who get a habitat home, do they tend to help with other homes?
Some do.
Some
yes. Some don't. I mean, when they're through, and who can blame them? They're like, I have my home. I have plenty to do. I have 2 or 3 kids, blah, blah. But we do have some homeowners that always, like on the first few days, they come over and they meet the new homeowners. And then maybe they'll come back during the build and help for a day or 2. And that's really fun to see.
So you said with Century Place and these next 2 homes, and you've got your whole Women Build initiative. So you started talking about it a couple of minutes ago.
Yes.
You said part of the initiative was to get more women involved. Why?
Well, we know what women do, don't we? I mean, we know how to get things done.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, it really is kind of comical when we go out there and there's a couple of guys there and you have a group of women and sometimes we just take over things. We can't help it. We just want to get it done. But I go back to my first experience.
Okay.
I was on a scaffold doing second story siding
Probably something you never expected.
Never thought I would do that in my life. And when you were talking about, I mean, that house is still there.
Yeah.
And, it was in North Atlanta, but when I go home and I'm in that area, I can go by and say, I was a part of that.
Yeah.
And it's really so much more than the house. And to me, this is the really important part of what Habitat's really doing. We're not building a house. We're changing the lives of a family.
Mm-hmm.
Because generational wealth, most of us get that from owning real estate. And so for many of these folks, this is the only way that they're going to have an option to own a house.
I see.
And so home ownership is really what it's about, because we know that through the reduced stress in their family, through increased academics for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
We conduct annual surveys of all of our homeowners.
Okay.
We try to get them all to participate. They don't all, but what we're trying to do is really understand how did we help and what can we do better.
And what have your latest results told you?
Well, we're actually in the process right now. The survey's gone out. But what we know historically is that 80% of them say, but for Habitat, I could not have ever owned a home. 65% say my children's grades improved. And I love to mention the football player Deshaun Watson that played for Clemson. Great quarterback, went on to play for the NFL. He lived with his family in public housing in Gainesville, Georgia. And his mom was the recipient of a Habitat home.
Oh, okay.
So he talks very fondly about his memory that it changed their family dynamics and reduced the stress, especially of his mom. And so he was able to focus on his academics, right? And his sports.
Yeah.
And we can see that in the families that we're serving, especially in my case, because I've put literally over 100 families and homes over the years. When I see those families, and we're friends on Facebook, and I see their kids going to college, and it's such a wonderful feeling.
You did talk about that, you might get 200 applications and 2 people qualify. So there's obviously a strong degree of stability and stress reduction that you just described, that when a Habitat family moves into their home, they've got stability, they're not moving around, and I'm making assumptions here, so that it allows everyone to take a deep breath and stay really focused. But how would you describe the typical living situation for many of these Habitat families before they get their home?
I think the biggest challenge for most of the families that we've served is, number one, saving for a down payment.
Yeah.
Because a typical down payment is pretty hefty for these folks. We have our family save $3,500 from the first month that they're approved for the program. They have to save money every month. Separate savings account. And if we ask to see the statement, they share it with us.
Gotcha.
So that when we get to the closing table, they have a down payment and they can cover their closing cost. Our down payment is only $1,000.
I got you. Wow.
So $3,500 is all they're putting in financially. So the down payment is an issue for a lot of people. And quite frankly, one of the biggest concerns that we have in Glynn County is that we have a lot of folks that could qualify, but for their credit. So one of the things that we've started in the last year is we're partnering with banks and others to lead some financial literacy classes.
Yeah.
So if we have, let's say we have a group of applicants and 5 of them, they're not approved, but for their credit, we let them know that, and we offer to help them get ready for home ownership. So we have these counselors, if you will, lead a class, work with them one-on-one to increase their credit score. And it's really not about a number. It's really about just, do you pay your bills on time?
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to have a mortgage from us. And even though it's 0% interest, we do want to be repaid, right? So that's been the other struggle is, and it's really kind of a problem in the whole country.
Yes.
Is that we do not focus on teaching our young people how to manage money. And once they get out of the home, who's going to teach them? So we've kind of taken that on so that we can help more families get into a home here.
Talk to me a little bit about the role of the Restore.
Okay. Yes. So restores really kind of were created to keep things out of the landfill.
Okay.
And because a lot of people, when they remodeled their home or they're getting rid of some items, there was no place for them to go, especially building materials. So in fact, in the last year, we've made some adjustments in our Restore because we want to appeal more to people who are DIY people, who are redoing even furniture, or they're putting in new floors in their condo. So we have new flooring in our store. But the mission of the Restore is really to fund houses.
Okay.
So we're there. We love being good to people and we love people coming in. But we're there to make a profit so that we can fund houses.
Okay. But it serves but in that explanation, you've just talked about this kind of, for lack of a better description, 3-pronged approach.
Okay.
You are a place where people who have furniture and things that they're perfectly fine, generally speaking.
Yes.
That they just no longer want or need. And they're not the type of folks to just
throw it on the curb.
Yes, right. Yes. They'd rather have it continue to have a useful life. So you're a location for that.
Right.
And where is the Restore in Brunswick?
We are in the Lanier Plaza, which is at the very end of the causeway. Yeah. Where it used to be the Winn-Dixie. It's the soon to be the Aldi.
Yeah.
And we're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. We have a great crew. They work very hard. I literally get cards from customers saying what a great group of people work there, which is very satisfying. And I think they enjoy working there.
So it's a place to continue the useful life of things.
Yes.
Kind of reminds me of the Island of Unfit Toys from
yes.
Rudolph. But most of I have been in the store and I know we have donated before.
Yes.
And I know what we've donated. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just our life has changed and evolved and you just don't have a need for a desk or whatever.
Yes.
But who's a typical shopper? You mentioned it's DIY, but is it sometimes people just looking to furnish something different, or is it somebody who's looking for something and they want something decent, but they don't want to spend a fortune on it, or is it a combination of people?
It really is a combination. I mean, we have people young people that come in because they're in college and they just need they need a desk or they need a side table or what have you, and they don't have $100 to spend. They might have 20. So we're the place for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We have some customers that honestly we see every week.
Oh.
That a couple of them refinish furniture and then they resell it.
Okay.
We have a couple of ladies that own rental properties. So they're sometimes buying furniture, sometimes buying new flooring.
Yeah.
Or we have new rugs as well.
Yeah.
Paint, we sell paint in the store, new paint.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of there. So it's a real variety of customers.
Real variety.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then the third part of that is that those funds then go into your core mission of building homes.
Right.
I knew they were all tied together, but I never really thought about how they were tied together.
So in one house for us is about $140,000.
Total cost?
Total cost. Now that's hard cost. That is not any part of my salary or anybody else's. So the cost is really higher than that, but that's the hard cost that we look at. So we want at least that much profit per year out of the Restore to help build one house.
Oh, okay.
And because all of our funds, and this is really important, Our affiliate is, as I said, standalone. Our funds, our people, our salaries are all funded locally.
Locally. Wow.
So I was speaking to another group a while back, and I happened to mention that, we're a part of Habitat International, but they don't give us money. In fact, we give them money. It's like a franchise fee. You pay McDonald's to have a McDonald's sign, right?
Gotcha.
And so Habitat for Humanity International does a lot for us. And there's marketing and
it's an umbrella brand.
Yes. But they do not fund us.
I guess I didn't realize that either.
Right. And we don't have any government funding. We can apply for government funding, and we may do that in the future, but we haven't ever done that before.
Okay.
So really, most of our money in Glynn County comes from a lot of individual donors. I mean, we have donors that give $1,000 every month.
Wow.
And then we have donors that give $20,000 a quarter. And then we have people that give $100. A year.
And then you have people that give their sweat equity.
Right. I mean, that's the other thing that's so fun is everybody's doing their part where they can. So some people aren't able to go out there and work on a site. I've even had families where, the wife was pregnant. She couldn't do anything. So she would just come out on the site and hand water bottles out to all the volunteers and serve lunch and, all of those things. So we can all be useful in different ways. So I did want to mention the funding, though, because that's a really important part of what people don't know about us.
Sure. I think I was aware of it, but it's one of those, you don't think about it all that much.
Yes. Yeah.
And that kind of makes me circle back to what I said earlier, in that your mission very much parallels with the co-op mission of by the community, for the community, and not just for the potential home owner, but for everyone involved with that build.
Yes.
And I know we've touched on it a couple of times, but I also want to circle back to your women build. So how long is that campaign? And have you started to have groups of women come out? Do you have challenges going on? What are you doing to promote that?
So we're all over social media with the Women Build. We started in October, and we will go through the end of March. So there's still plenty of time for folks to get involved. We've already had, I think, 2 or 3 groups of women out. This Saturday, we have United Community Bank coming out. And then we've got a group coming out from FLETC soon. And we have a group from the Realtors Association. So it's corporate, and then it's, smaller groups of folks as well. We still have plenty of room for groups that want to bring a team out. A team is really, 5 or 6 people. If you can't fill a team, just sign up anyway, and we'll put you on a team.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes we have a group from Sea Island who has donated significantly to the Women Build, and they don't have that many people who want to actually physically come build.
Gotcha.
So we're going to add some other folks, and that's again another way for new people to meet each other.
Yeah. It builds community.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So I know that I had looked at your website, and I know your whole build schedule is online.
Yes.
So remind us where folks can go online to get information, and where you are on social media and all those good things.
hfhglynn.org. Very simple. And I really can't think of the Instagram tag. I think it's Habitat Glynn.
But you're on Instagram.
Oh, yes. We're on Instagram.
Facebook?
And Facebook.
Okay.
Yes. So it's really pretty easy to find us.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you go to hfhglynn.org, you can see all of the Women Build. There's a big pink tab. We've got beautiful pink hard hats for our sponsors and all their group. We have pink T-shirts that are adorable. We had them professionally designed.
Oh, wow.
So can't wait for you to see those. I started to wear mine today, but anyway, there's still plenty of opportunity for people that want to plug in. In fact, I think just this morning, I get notified every time someone signs up. So we had 4 people sign up just today. So more momentum is building, and we have more and more groups coming in.
Oh, that's very exciting. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that we have covered the whole
Yes.
spectrum of what habitat entails, and hopefully given our viewers and listeners a better idea of the breadth and scope that yes, it's about building homes, but it extends so much beyond that in the sense that it, to use the old phrase, it takes a village.
Yes.
And I think that's what you're demonstrating
Yeah.
with each of your initiatives with that it all comes back to that.
And we are a Christian organization. So part of our mission statement is to share God's love through this work.
Through the work.
And that's what we're doing. So we love our neighbors and we want to bring everybody in. And we're trying to bridge the different gaps in the community by bringing everyone together to serve each other.
Like we said before, by the community, for the community, and with the community.
Yes.
So, well, Mary, thank you so much for taking your time today to talk with me about this. And to all our viewers and listeners, we hope that you've learned a bit more about Habitat for Humanity, and specifically here in Glynn County and their initiatives, and where you can find out more information. Until then, take care, everybody.